Welcome to Vsb News Online for Friday, August 7th. I'm Peter Kitzel. Bermuda's gross domestic product compared to the first quarter of 2014 grew by 3.7% in nominal terms and 2.2% adjusted for inflation. This according to Acting Premier and Finance Minister E.T. Bob Richards as he released the first quarter 2015 GDP report.
This is good news and clearly indicative of the fact that the economy is growing and the latest evidence of an improved economic outlook. Our efforts to stimulate investor interest in Bermuda are continuing to bear fruit, providing increased prospects for the future. But we are not standing still. The government intends to continue to pursue policies and projects that stimulate the economy. We believe this is the correct strategy to ensure substantial improvements in tangible opportunities for Bermudian entrepreneurs, companies, and employees. There is a growing confidence in Bermuda's economy and its future, a confidence that is shining through the oppressive gloom of negative political rhetoric.
Asked if there were any meetings between himself and his shadow finance minister to alleviate the rhetoric, the minister responded, "Not really."
The negative rhetoric is a fact of life in Bermuda's environment right now, and we certainly would like to be in a position where we could move away from that and move towards a more balanced approach. But, I was in the opposition once, for a long time, in fact, and I never engaged in this kind of destructive, negative rhetoric that we see today. So it really is up to the opposition to conduct themselves in a way that is, not necessarily more positive, but less toxic. We will need that enthusiasm and optimism as we continue our road back towards a balanced budget through fiscal prudence. This new data, read together with other economic figures recently released, is good reason for renewed optimism after years of challenges. Just days ago, you heard from the quarterly bulletin of statistics that central government revenue is up. And in the face of much pressure, efforts continue throughout government to control government spending. For the same period, across the island, employment income grew, and total expenditure by air visitors was nearly 20%, 19.3% to be exact, year over year. The number of new business registrations is also up for the quarter. In hotels, employment numbers rose, and gross receipts, that is money paid to hoteliers, was also marginally up. Last month, the government released statistics which showed that the value of retail sales grew for 9 consecutive months through the month of May. And to the end of April, the volume of retail sales grew for 5 consecutive months. These too are all indications of optimism.
There has been an unexpected jump in Bermuda's rate of inflation as the index increased 9 points to reach 2.1% in June. The health and personal care sector was the largest contributor, rising 8.5%, thanks to increased health insurance, medical care, and medicines. The transport and foreign travel sector was up 3.7%, and food was 3.4% more expensive year over year, but all other sectors remained stable. There were 5 scholarships worth $30,000 a year handed out last night at the Bank of Bermuda Foundation Scholarships Awards, out of a total of 23 awards worth a total of $714,000. The 5 students were Andrew Fleming, International Business, Harry Masters, Environmental Management, Noah Marshall, Life Sciences, Kayla Virgil Darrell, Actuarial Science, and Marquidel Rodriguez, Filmmaking. A $20,000 award went to Catherine Arnfield, Business Administration, and Asha Bikari received a $15,000 scholarship, Media and Business Administration. On the weather fronts, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association's latest Atlantic hurricane forecast calls for still fewer hurricanes this season. NOAA sees a 90% chance of below normal activity, and as Chris Lodge reports, this is the highest confidence prediction on an uneventful season that the agency has given in the 17 years it has been doing such seasonal outlooks.
Officials are stopping short of saying there's nothing to worry about. Jerry Bell, the lead seasonal hurricane forecaster with NOAA's Climate Prediction Center, says regardless of our call for below normal storm activity, people along the Atlantic and Gulf coasts should remain prepared and vigilant, especially now that the peak months of the hurricane season have started. And Bermuda, of course, hit by 2 hurricanes in October last year. 2 tropical storms have hit the United States so far this year. Anna made landfall in South Carolina in May, and Bill hit Texas in June. Hurricane season, of course, going from June 1st to November 30th. The outlook pulls back from earlier predictions in May, with fewer than 10 named storms likely, of which at most 4 will become hurricanes. NOAA expected 1 or none of these to develop into major hurricanes. In average seasons, there are 12 named storms, 6 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. NOAA attributes its below-normal forecast largely to atmospheric conditions associated with significant continuing El Niño, such as a strong vertical wind shear that makes it difficult for any storms to form. I'm Chris Lodge, Vsb News.
The annual Round the Island race organized by the Bermuda Powerboat Association takes place this Sunday afternoon from Ferry Reach. And the police are once again linking up with the association to ensure that safety for both participants and spectators is kept at a premium. Police Inspector Robert Cardwell explains.
The Bermuda Police Service is once again pleased to partner with the Bermuda Powerboat Association to ensure the safety of participants and the boating public for the Round the Island Powerboat Race that is scheduled for this coming Sunday, August the 9th. The Bermuda Police Service will be working closely with the Bermuda Powerboat Association executive members and their racecourse marshals. The participants in the race have skills in racing powerboats, which they have been rehearsing throughout the season with regular meets at the Ferry Reach. The Round the Island Powerboat Race offers excitement to the boating public, but it is necessary to ensure that all mariners take steps to assist us with safety. Be mindful that any wake thrown in the area of the racecourse can have a disastrous effect to the participants who are racing and who are traveling at speed. Ensure that when positioned near the racecourse to watch the race, that you keep a safe distance from the path itself. Allowances must be made for participant error and or unforeseen circumstances that can cause a race boat to veer off course. The Bermuda Marine Board has issued a notice to mariners and have closed some sea passages for the duration of the race or until opened by the police. They are the passage between Ferry Point and Coney Island at the Ferry Reach pylons between 1:25 p.m. and 3:30 p.m., the passage between Hinson's Island and the Paget mainland between 1:45 p.m. and 3 p.m., the passage between Five Star Island and the Southampton mainland between 1:45 p.m. and 3 p.m. In addition, speed limits normally governing marine traffic inshore have been lifted for boats participating in the race only. Participants are those who have registered with the Bermuda Powerboat Association. The Bermuda Powerboat Association is deploying a number of civilian-registered boats to act as racecourse marshals. They will be readily identifiable as they will be flying a red flag. The boating public must adhere to the instructions given by the racecourse marshals, who will be supported by the Marine Police. An offence is created by not adhering to instructions given or by operating a powercraft in a dangerous manner.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
In an effort to make Bermuda's roads safer, and in partnership with Bermuda Police Service and the Bermuda Road Safety Council, DeFon's Broadcasting is launching a safe driving campaign. Complete with thumb bands, come into DeFon's Broadcasting and 94 Reed Street and make the commitment to drive safer and slower for yourself. Your voice could be featured on the radio. Get yourself a thumb band as a reminder of your commitment to drive safer and with fewer distractions. While you're at it, why not get one for someone in your life who also needs a reminder that our roads do not discriminate. They can take anyone's life. Let's drive safe, Bermuda, and arrive alive. Peace and love. Safe journeys.
Next Friday marks the 240th anniversary of the Bermuda gunpowder plot, and thanks to the overseas interest of historically minded Americans, it is finally going to get the recognition it deserves. A 50-strong group of daughters, sons, and children of the American Revolution is coming here to take part in 3 planned events and to donate $4,500 to deserving local charities. Brian Darby has the details.
To start things off, on Friday, August the 14th, there will be a ceremony at Port Royal Golf Course dedicating an historical marker honouring Thomas and St. George Tucker, who separately informed leaders of the American cause that the lightly guarded magazine in Bermuda contained over 100 barrels of gunpowder, which was in short supply in the colonies. With that intelligence, Benjamin Franklin and others in Philadelphia were able to convince a few Bermudians to appropriate the gunpowder and have it loaded on American ships waiting off Tobacco Bay. In exchange, the Bermudians received a partial exemption from the Continental Congress trade embargo, which would allow Bermuda to continue receiving the American farm products on which islanders depended. The second and third ceremonies will occur on Saturday, August the 15th at 4:45 at the town square in St. George's. Mayor Quinnell Francis will greet the delegation and preside over a reenactment of one of the events leading up to the theft of the gunpowder. The group and members of public will then walk up the hill past the unfinished church and dedicate another historical marker near the site of the gunpowder magazine. That will be followed around 6 p.m. by a reenactment of the rolling of the barrels of gunpowder down the hill towards Tobacco Bay Beach and the dedication of an interpretation sign regarding the Bermuda gunpowder plot at Tobacco Bay. The event will wrap up with a party at the beach for Bermudians and tourists alike with Revolutionary War-themed specials. Brian Darby reporting for Vsb News.
Sasha Dill wanted to be a dancer so much that she taught herself to dance by watching local ballet classes. And she did such a good job at that she ended up winning last year's So You Think You Could Dance contest. This persistence and dedication so impressed the scholarship committee of the National Dance Foundation that they have given the 22-year-old some financial encouragement. And next week, she flies to Chicago and the College of Lake County. Brian Darby talked to her about her vision.
It's been a very long journey for me. I've been trying to get off to school since I was 18. I'm 22 now, and the National Dance Foundation has really helped me a lot with pushing me to apply. I have danced since I was 5 years old. I started dancing in a church when I was 12 years old. It helped me so much to just push through and just try to be the best person that I can be.
But they have you down as persevering, that any trouble that came along, you found a way around it?
Yes, definitely. Money was definitely an issue for me. And it just seemed like without financial support, nothing can be done. But I just kept pushing, getting my name out there, performing, doing my best to just push through and be the best person I can be.
And the highlight came last year?
Yes, it did. So You Think You Can Dance competition, really, that was a huge opportunity for us to win that. I mean, I'm not technically trained, but to be able to perform in Bermuda So You Think You Can Dance and actually win it was just huge for me.
And what will Chicago offer you?
Chicago would offer me, I will be technically trained in my 2-year course. I will be taking ballet, tap, modern jazz, and a martial arts form of dance called capoeira. So hopefully I can bring that back to Bermuda and we can remix it up.
So you're coming back to us. What will you do with it, do you think?
I will be teaching for sure. I teach at Dancation School of Dance at the moment. I teach from ages 6 all the way up to the adults.
It's in your heart, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
The Bermuda Hotel Association has announced the winners of their annual scholarship awards, which were presented to the 4 recipients at their annual general meeting. The awards totaled $18,000 and were presented to Adrian Hassel, who is studying hotel management at Brock University, Sanji Richardson and Erin Woods, who are pursuing culinary arts at Johnson & Wales University, and Kyra Wollaston, who is studying hospitality and tourism management at Cape Breton University. And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
The Bermuda Under-15 boys national football team continued competing in the Mexico Five Nations tournament in Mexico City yesterday, playing in their second game against the host, Bermuda fought hard, but went down 7-0. Danico Hollis and Rohan Davis were announced as the Logic Premier and First Division Players of the Week. Making the announcement for the Premier Division player was Michael Brengman, the marketing manager of Logic Communications.
On behalf of Logic Communications, I'd like to congratulate Danico Hollis of Bayless Bay for being recognized as the Logic Premier Division Player of the Week award. Excellent job. Good stuff. Thank you.
Hollis is looking forward to his team's match this weekend against league leaders, Southampton Rangers.
We have a few key players missing. I just look at it as another game. We have to play with what we have and show up on the day and just play good quality cricket as we have been playing all season.
Who are the players that are missing?
Taryn Frey, Sinclair Smith. Those are the 2 players that are missing.
How is Stephen Bridge after his knock?
As far as I'm concerned, I think Stephen's up for the challenge to play against Rangers. You know, title decider, do or die. So I think he's up for the challenge.
I know he says he doesn't really want to play, but do you think Irvin will suit up for this one, being that you're going to be?
I highly doubt Irvin will be playing.
What about your knock of 57 against River Cups?
I have 24 over matches, due to rain. I just played my natural game, back my ability. So it's an honor to get an achievement like that. Looking to press on and take it into Sunday's game against Rangers.
The Bermuda Triathlon Association's Argo Reed Summer Series resumed in good conditions at the Clearwater Beach last evening. Chris Hands edged out Kent Richardson. Hands clocked a time of 26:10, while Richardson was clocked across the line in 26:16. Third overall was the first female finisher. It was Lindsay Palmer. She clocked 28:51. In the shorter distance, Nico Davis finished first, clocking a time of 20:07. Jasmine Halkers was the first female finisher and was second overall in a time of 21:57. Jake Smith finished third in 22 minutes flat. The inaugural Cardinals-Dale and Pearman Squash Tournament served off at the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club last evening with a full slate of matches. In Division A, Runa Retter defeated Nick Brewer 11-6, 11-5, 11-9. John Fletcher got by Spencer Moss 11-2, 11-9, 11-4. Tommy Sherrick defeated Keon Knights 12-10, 11-8, 8-11, 11-2. Patrick Foster defeated Anthony White 11-3, 11-6, 11-7, and another favorite in the A Division, Kristen Johnson, defeated Murray Brewer 11-love, 11-4, 11-4. In B Division action, Taylor Carrick defeated Bruce Robinson 11-9, 11-6, 11-8, while Susie Lacey got by Charlie Riker 11-5, 11-5, 11-8. The Bermuda Amateur Swimming Association has updated their long course meter records following the Canadian Age Group Championships and a record that was overlooked from the Norris Foundation meet in Florida. Jack Harvey broke the 11-12 boys record set by Brett Smith of 2:37.49 on June 7th, 2014, when he touched the wall in the 200-meter backstroke in a time of 2:37.44. During the Canadian Age Group Championships, Emma Harvey set a new 100-meter butterfly record of 1:04.28, and then she came back later in the final to break that record with a time of 1:03.77. Harvey also broke the 50-meter backstroke record, clocking a time of 31:11. She broke her own record of 31:30. She broke her record in the 200 individual medley, clocking a time of 2:30.70, breaking her own record of 2:30.71. In the 15 to 16 girls, Madeline Moore set a new 50-meter backstroke record of 30.97, breaking her own record of 31.08. Moore then came back in the final and broke that record, clocking 30.53. Jessie Washington set a new 100-meter freestyle record of 53.12, breaking his old record of 53.29. He also set a new 200-meter freestyle record, breaking his old record of 157.78, clocking 155.41. Washington set a new 50-meter butterfly record of 26.32, breaking his own record of 26.41. Emma Harvey set a new Bermuda Open female record in the 100-meter butterfly when she touched the wall in a time of 103.77 in the final. Washington broke a men's open 200-meter freestyle record, a record held by Ronald Cohen, set back in 2003 of 155.48, and he touched the wall in a time of 155.41. The Rubis Round the Island powerboat race will take place this coming Sunday, beginning and ending at Ferry Reach. We hear more from the Bermuda Powerboat Association's Commodore.
There will be 6 classes, A, B, C, D, S, and a very special treat, 1 Thunder class. This year, the powerboat race is being sponsored by Rubis Energy, who have graciously put up a $7,000 prize money for the event. The race starts at Ferry Reach and proceeds through the pylons at Coney Island, along North Shore, and around a buoy off Gibbets Island. Boats continue along North Shore and around Hogfish Beacon through Two Rock Passage and around White's Island. From there, boats continue along the Harbor Road shoreline, around buoys at Five Star Island, along to Commissioner's Point, around Daniels Head, and on to South Shore. Boats then continue along South Shore to St. David's Head, and then around St. Catherine's Point, down North Shore, and back to Ferry Reach for the finish.
I'm Earl Basden reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Saturday, August 8th, there will be a mix of sun and cloud with 1 or 2 showers. Winds will be south-southwesterly, light to moderate. We are expecting a high near 87 Fahrenheit and a low near 79 Fahrenheit. This weather report is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thank you for watching VSB News Online for Friday, August 7th. I'm Peter Cattell.